of government. One of it is primary health care, markets, school. I must tell you that local governments within Rivers State, for instance, have been doing their best in terms of reaching out to the people, in terms of democratic dividends. You can, if you look at local government system in, for instance, Obiakpo here, you can understand that the immediate past administration, Dr. George Ariolo, built a whole lot of schools. Now the new chairman came into existence because he knows more about local government. He did what is called economic summit. Vis-a-vis in our local palace, it is more or less community participation. What do you want? How can we achieve this? So I must tell you that the people within the local government, especially in Rivers State, are benefiting the dividends of democracy. Even if we have a little shortcomings, especially because we have not gotten the full local government autonomy. And you know that if you follow, at the end of every month, for instance, salaries are paid from federal, state, and local government. You will understand that local government takes their salary last. Why? Because you will see that the Supreme Court judgment, which empowers the local government to get their allocation direct, have not been implemented in full. That is why when allocation goes to various states, that money goes to either a state account, a joint state and local government account. From there, before it gets to the local government, if you want to achieve one or two dividends of democracy, there may be delays. That is one. Two, you will also understand that the level of urbanization in most local government in Rivers State have made it so difficult in some local government to carry out effective programs that will benefit the people. Why do I say this? Okay, imagine Obiakpo local government. Because of the location and the sensitive nature of Obiakpo local government, if you are talking about only Obiakpo, just as a local government, has over 20 divisional headquarters. There are local government that have just one. There are local government with only one divisional headquarters. But because of the environment where the local government have found themselves, you can now see that because the federal is not doing all it takes to take care of security, the local government sometimes, because you cannot talk about good governance when you have insecurity, the local government also participates in making sure that there is maximum security by supporting the police through their divisions. So in one area it affects, but in the other area the local government is also doing their best when it comes to the development in terms of infrastructural development. You are aware that there is what is called statutory deductions from every local government account. That statutory, one of it is it goes to primary health care. Local governments takes care of that. They deduct a particular amount of money for primary health care.
All right, let me pause here and bring Honorable Nwankwo. Honorable Nwankwo, you've been at the assembly, and of course the assembly plays a supervisory role over the affairs of local government council. You know the functions of local government council. When you bring it down to Rivers State, how do you appraise the functionality of the local government councils vis-a-vis their role and the expected impact to the grassroots?
Well, thank you so very much. Thank you for having me. Okay, to be direct and to throw more light to what my colleague here has said. First, let's look at Constitution. The 1999 Constitution, as amended, has a responsibility that it charged the local government with. In their fourth schedule, it is written there. And what are the likely things that are written there? First, you have the economic and budget planning, you have sanitation, you have health care, you have agricultural development, and the few other ones. Now, drawing inference from what the fourth schedule outlined for the local government. Now, I want to draw a comparative from what is happening around the state to justify whether or not the local government chairmen are performing or not. Now, we are in Obiakpo. Let me start with Obiakpo. Recently, you can find out that the local government chairman of Obiakpo made an announcement, summoned security agencies, and was able to decongest the roads and the markets. And there is pure sanitation. And recently, the state government, through Rewama, began to do joint partnership with him because of the action he has displayed. Some persons ordinarily had been there, but they didn't think towards that area. Let me go a little bit further. And he go back to the time of Ariolo, because we are all staying around. We also know what's going around. And somebody that has served at the state assembly, like the former speaker, right? He said he built series of schools. One of the core responsibility of a local government chairman is to build schools. He built series of schools, and the people are participating in those schools. People are in those schools. You understand? Now let me go back to my local government, or let me still move a little bit further and look at other local government chairmen. Recently, it was all over. The local government chairman from Echi, precisely, Honorable Chima, bought series of transformers and was electrifying his place. And some persons will be saying, even if it is not outlined, now going by the function of a local government chairman, there are other core responsibilities that he should be looking at. And one of such responsibilities is that electrification of his place, to ensure that there is economic development. There is economic development. The moment there is light in your place, the possibility of companies coming in to develop your place, the chances is high because they are getting it at a reduced rate. Now, let me go back to my local government. My local government will have a local government chairman. While we are talking about that, our local government, at a time, we stayed without light. Even when power station is in Oyibo local government. It's in Oyibo local government. It's domiciled in Oyibo local government. But at the time we didn't have. And what was just the simple issue? Transformers. And this is why the chairman came in. He has done justice to that in less than 1 month to his second term in office. Then beside that, there are other things he did in his first tenure. Let me tell you, do you know that we have stakeholders, we have a lot of persons across the LGA and at the state level. First in the history of Oyibo local government, we've not had a second time local government chairman. And we're having it for the first time. Because of what? Performance. So if I want to generalize it, I can tell you, though there are constraints, even when we are saying this thing, there are still other local government chairmen that probably that might not be performing up to expectation because of one reason or the other. Now let me tell you, there was something he was saying. I listened King, and I want to tell you something. Do you know that the local government allocation has a formula? There are parameters to which their allocation is given to them, and I can tell you for free that the last time that parameter was looked into is close to 10 or 15 years ago. That's from the federal government. Now, that parameters is, one of them is how many health centers are in your local government, how many people are staying in your local government, how many police stations are in your local government, and so on and so forth. And when those parameters are not updated and we keep on paying the local government allocation as what we had budgeted, even when you're looking at the previous allocation, or let's say for instance since 1999 or in the last 10 years, you're doing only you're only calculating based on percentage. How will you stay in Abuja and determine the percentage of growth rate in a particular local government?
All right, let me pause you here. You talked about from the fourth schedule of the 1998 Constitution, Section 7, talked about economic planning and development. Look at the local government councils in Rivers State. Are they planning? Are they planned, or these activities are just done haphazardly? What do you think about planning in order to drive development in these local government councils?
Okay. To be very direct with you, planning, we talk about their economic planning. You have to plan with your team. In fact, you need to even, it's like, while he was speaking, he said something about he just talked about he had a summit. I don't really know what the summit is about, but when you're talking about planning, you can bring people across from your area and begin to drive down their need in your plans. Where we have a problem most time is if some of these local government chairmen do not draw the stakeholders and begin to sit down and sway what they have, they begin to, even when they are doing it, they might be doing it haphazardly or not with the core intent or the needs of the people. At every point in time, everybody has a need. At every point in time, they look at, what will be more beneficiary to them. So when they do not do these things, that's where we begin to have a shortfall. But from what I can tell you for free, in as much as Rivers State is concerned, that the local government chairmen, 90% of them are performing beyond expectation.
Let me come to the Secretary of Obiakpor Council. You hold the engine room of the council. What are the key plan for development in that council, especially at a time that there are also concerns about the state of schools, not just in Obiakpor but across the state. The key concern there is that local government councils play a critical role in primary education, primary health care, in sanitation and in market motor parks and all that. What are the key plans of your LGA in terms of meeting these expectations?
Okay, first of all, just like I stated before, that for instance, when Obiakpor chairman came into office, because you cannot succeed without planning, there was an economic summit. The economic summit is to look at, one, the revenue, the way forward, how to generate revenue, employment generation, the responsibilities of the local government, like construction of schools, provision of water and electricity, as well as other things. That was the reason for that economic summit. And to build confidence in the investors within the locality. Now, upon that, at the end of that summit, for a local government that has vision, going towards Airport Road by Rimokoro, you know we have a market there. Sometimes you can spend 2 hours just for you to cross that place. The local government made it very important, very, very visible that the road has been cleared. It means that the economic life in that area have come back. You go to where we call Rumokrosi, where you have the oil mill market. You can spend 2-3 hours just for you if you're coming from Aba Aziz to Port Harcourt or going outside the states. The local government made sure that the place has been cleared. Now, another reason for that economic summit is what some local government in Nigeria are passing through today, what is called misplacement of priority. I'm from Obiakpor local government, for instance. If you come to my local government now as a local government chairman and you say you want to give me, you want to drill borehole, for me I see it as misplacement of priority. Why do I say that? I feel that you can hardly see any household within Obiakpo that does not have borehole. If you don't have, the next neighbor will have. But there are things that the local government that will need, just like building or renovation of health centers. Local government chairman, especially in our own local government, Obiakpo, for instance, did not say because there is a deduction from our revenue, then I have no other thing to do with the health care. They have deducted money to pay salaries and do no. As I'm talking to you now, the Obiakpo local government is renovating series of healthcare centers, primary healthcare centers in this local government. You come to education. We have just finished renovating and handed over Choba Primary School, just the one adjacent where you have Indomie. We're also renovating other ones. This is part of the things you're talking about, the dividend. This is because the chairman wouldn't have just said, oh, because I am not the chairman, let me just go into it.
Are these developments spread across the councils?
As I'm talking to you, I made mention of health center. Obiakpo is divided into different kingdoms. Renovation is going on now in some of the primary health care centers in where we call Evo houses. We have completed renovation of Choba Primary School in Abo houses. 10 transformers have been given, both 500 kVA and 300 kVA to across the kingdoms in the health. In fact, as I'm talking to you now, we are about to start installations of those transformers. We made it mandatory that it will touch in all the areas. That is why I said there is what is called misplacement of priority. You can't say because, before you just come and say, if for instance, and a chairman said, I'm trying to drill borehole. Yeah, people will understand. But you can't come here and say, I want to drill borehole. If I know the old man now comes to say, what is more important here is security. It is very important because the local government is large. You understand that what affects Obiakpo invariably has affected the state. Just like I told you, we have over 20-something divisional headquarters. And I said that our local government have only one. If we call for security meeting, you will see more than 20 GPOs. You now wonder in one local government, but you go to it's just one, just like the assembly members rightly stated here. If you use this as the parameter to release allocation, it means we'll get more because we will spend only if the local government tells you how much you spend in security. You will now understand that governance, especially in the grassroots, is more important than any other place, and that you cannot do that without community participation. If you are running local government, there must be community participation. That is why we have Council of Chiefs meetings, government recognized traditional meetings. When the local government chairman, Dr. Gift Wall, took over office, the first thing he did was to visit communities, hear from them, know what they want, and started working towards that. You don't just agree because you're a local government chairman, it's okay, I thought I need to do this for them. No. Community participation is very, very important. You also talk about the major factor that is affecting local governments in Nigeria today. Listen, there are so many local governments in Nigeria that you can only see staff in those local governments when allocation comes. After allocation, you don't see them again. They come back again when they are about to pay salaries. What does it mean? It means that those local governments are not interested to generate or to create avenue for revenue generation. How do you do that? The local government will meet, this month allocation is so amount. Yes, we pay salaries. How much? Then pay whatever bill. Nobody comes to office again. The next time they meet again is the following month. But you can see that in Rivers State here, it is a different thing entirely. There are local governments in River States that are as busy as state secretariat in so many states outside the states in this country. It is because we have seen that grassroots democracy, grassroots participation is hinged on local government, the governance of local government in Nigeria.
Mr. Honorable Nwankwo, from the report from the Federation account, between March and August, the last one I saw, local government aggregately in Rivers State received between 16 to 19 billion naira each month, aggregately. Do you think that this level of funding, the infrastructural development in the local communities, the funding could be compared to the level of infrastructural development at the grassroots? Because that is the key primary essence of local government area, develop the grassroots.
Okay, let's be very factual and realistic. Let's assume the entire LGAs in Rivers State got about 16 billion naira. And of course, it cannot be divided equally because of the differences in their LGAs. And we're talking about, one thing most of us fail to understand is that if you're not in governance, you look at figure. You don't look at losses, you look at only gain. Because you're looking at only the allocation that enters. But in the allocation that has dropped, there are physical things you can see with your eye. There are invisible things that you might not be able to see. Let's say, for instance, we're talking about security of your entire local government. Irrespective of the local government in Rivers State, when it has to do with security, because of the fragile nature of the environment, we'll have a lot of oil and so on and so forth. There are a lot of food lumps here and there. You have to put these things into perspective. Now, in some other states, you find out that in some other states, you find out that the residents most times even pay for sanitation. But when it comes to Rivers State, you find out that it's the local government that is charged with sanitation directly. Only evacuation of sanitation across the 23 local governments, if we have to aggregate it and they say, oh, let's pull out 16 million from the evacuation of waste alone, that is not visible, you won't see nothing. At the end of the day, they evacuate waste virtually every day. Then you know how much that they are losing from the allocation that has been generated or that has been sent to them. Then besides just the waste as well, there are lots of factors that you put in consideration. Let me tell you something. Let's say, for instance, you have a project in your local government and that project is worth, let's say, for instance, 2 billion naira. As a local government chairman, at that point, the allocation of your local government might be just 500 million or 700 million naira. But you want to honestly deliver that project. Maybe it could be a market, you're building a market. It could be a complex that you're building a complex. At that point, you are looking at 500 million as against 2 billion naira. Do you know what will come into play? The local government chairman has no other option. Or we are looking at road, like you can hear over the radio, the post that some local government chairmen are even going as far as tying road, though it is in their schedule. But how much is entering their account on monthly basis? Now you look at that. At the end of the day, they will be forced to borrow from the bank. They have no other option than to borrow. And when they borrow from the bank,
even with the level of funding that is coming to the council,
yes, you have no option. Let's say, for instance, the local government, the maximum any local government in Rivers State can get so far now is 2 billion naira. And if there is any local government that can get up to 2 billion naira monthly, that must be either Obiako or Father. Besides these two local governments, every other local government might fall within 700, 800, 600, 1.1, 1.2 at most. And you're building a road. And you have time band. You have time frame to build a road. You have 3 years to spend in the office. So how do you just suppose that? You have to go and borrow from the bank. And you're forgetting that you're borrowing with interest. You're going to pay the interest. So where will you get the interest from? Are you paying from your pocket? Subsequent revenues that are coming, you're going to be paying with that interest because of your account will be tied to that money because you want to execute that project because of the interest of your people. So most times people just sit back and they just consider how much that enters the local government without considering other things that happens within the local government.
Before I let the Secretary of Obiakpor Local Government Council go, let me ask you this question. The council is there to bring development. I keep harping on that. On the average, how many Obiakpor youths or citizens would you say the council have been able to put money or create jobs that could make them independent as a function of the local government council, not as a political reward?
Well, I will tell you that you should take my words to the bank. As far as I'm concerned, the incumbent chairman just came out from the university environment to be the local government chairman. So he knows more when it comes to human capital development. Just like you rightly stated, when you give a man money without teaching him how to invest that money or avenue on how that money will grow, you have created a serious burden on you because the ball will roll back to you. The local government chairman have created avenue between companies. We have used the opportunities because of the companies we have in our LGA to have a partnership between the local government and companies in terms of training. We don't believe in giving somebody employment. You give employment, just like somebody will come and tell you, I work offshore. What do you do there? You're a roaster bat. What the meaning of roaster bat? You don't have a handwork. Carry this thing from here to here, you keep it. Tomorrow, if they're getting redundancy, the first thing they do is that they lay off those ones that don't have handwork or skill. That is why Obiakpor have, through the local government chairman, Dr. Gift Wallo, have had a partnership from Chakins Maritime to train our people in the area of marine, so that they will have the qualification, the qualifying certificates. The local government have also partnered with other multinationals within the LGA to train them in different areas, in different skills, so that you can be employable. There is no job called, you see someone say, what do you deserve a politician? The chairman I know does not believe in that. He was a lecturer of the university. And he believes that you must be engaged with one activity or the other. When it comes to politics, you can come back to do that. So we have made arrangements. We have started in some areas in training people, training our indigenes, both indigenes and non-indigenes that reside in our local government in different skills. Just as I told you, in if you go to Chakin Maritime, just by East-West Road there, you will see them. We have them there. The chairman have also had meetings with our people that are interested in farming. Farming does not mean that you go to farm to use it. No. Different types of agricultural farming, fish farming and poultry and other things. The chairman have had meetings, consultations with our people. The next stage which we are entering now is disbursement of funds. And for us to do that, you must take us to your farm. For those that have, for those that don't have, you will go for the training. We've made arrangement for people to come and train. Up to our member in the House of Reps, OK Chinda, if you follow up, OK Chinda have always been training people as well. Just the way the chairman have been. Some persons just graduated. You can see that within your locality, you can grow different crops. So we are prepared to make sure that you can feed yourself, you can be employable, you can have skill, so that anytime, anywhere, you can be bold to say this is what we have achieved from the local government. But I must say it, and I will repeat it. Those days are gone where you feel that local government is a place where we come, once allocation comes, you pay salaries and whatever that remains. No. One of the major problems local government is having When you hear allocation, oh, 1 billion, this, that, the question you ask yourself, what is the wage bill of the local government? There are local government today that have over 1,000 something staffs.
Some of them are doing no ghost.
Now, the question, local government through the states just did verification exercise. In fact, Obiakpor has over 1,000 something staffs. You now wonder. So when you hear allocation, and you must pay them. What is the governor of the state graciously said local government must implement the minimum wage. What is minimum wage? Someone that was earning 80,000 before, earning over 100,000 now. You talk about allowances, which are paid. So when you hear 1 billion, 800 million, you understand that there must be statutory deductions. Government traditional rulers have their statutory deduction. Primary healthcare has statutory deductions. Then you come back. Security of the state is supposed to be based on the federal, but the local government takes care of the divisions here.
All right, our sincere gratitude to Barrister Kevin Akani, a good practitioner and secretary to Obiakpor Local Government Council. We appreciate your thoughts on this segment. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program continues. Stay with us.
Thank you so much.
Yes, my name is Angel the Laugh, comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Guinness World Record holder. Is the boss? Yes, live NTA Port Harcourt. I tell you the best of all of the truth. You're thinking of where you're going to have a celebration of a lifetime. Bring your kids, your family, everyone, anything love. We connect memories, we connect moments of laughter, dance, gift, name it all. And that platform is only for Birthday Boss. The right atmosphere for your business to get the world at its best is Birthday Boss. Every last Saturday of the month, the time is 12 noon. The venue is the headquarters here, NTA Port Harcourt, River State, Uwaba. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. It's Birthday Boss. Never a place as sweet as it. Yeah, so choosing the whole thing, some of the choosing it. So good to the whole interpretation, please. My name is Angel the Laugh, comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Guinness World Record holder. Tell somebody.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is our weekly conversation on highlights and our focus is local government councils and grassroots development. Joining us in this segment of the program is the President, Forum of Inclusive Educators and Readers, Mr. Onyeka Innocent. Mr. Innocent, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get your appraisal on this segment. What do you think about the local government councils? Talking about the councils in Rivers State generally, how have they impacted positively, negatively on developing the grassroots? Let's get your thoughts, sir.
Thank you. On the issue you have just raised, first, I must clarify, I am not a politician like my brother here who has been one of the assembly members and they just concluded secretary of Obiakpor that just left. But as a resident in River State, I will narrow my analysis on the local government I am in, which is Obiakpor local government. To be candid, I will give them a pass mark for the policies Dr. Gift has rolled out in River State, particularly in Obiakpor, is quite commendable. Let me give you an example. During the last nasal stroke rubella vaccination, which is health program that the nation involved themselves in, Dr. Gift Nworo made a provision to see that that particular vaccination gets to the grassroots.
That program was also implemented across other local government councils in the state.
Yes, sir. What you said is true, but the level of each local government involvement matters. Particularly, Onyeka was at Obiakpor on the inaugural day of that program. I saw the performance of the local government. I don't know him. I'm just meeting him for the first time. I don't think he knows me as I'm talking to you now. But the level of commitment I saw from the chairman of that local government towards that particular program made me to give kudos to him. I can vividly or authentically say that as for Obiakpo local government, there is a positive response in local government administration.
Impacting the rural people in terms of commerce, in terms of skills development, in terms of rural roads and markets. How do you reconcile their role, the role of the local government councils and what you're seeing today, even beyond the Obiakpo local government area? We are looking at Rivers State generally. Yes. If one local government area, assuming, is doing well, what lessons should others also draw from that?
Indeed, that's why we are here. If we are commending Obiakpo, I can also commend the Echie local government chairman. Others should take road, because I know we're in the public space now. People are hearing us. They can inquire from them, what are they doing? For instance, if you have crossed through Mokoro recently, you will see what has happened there in terms of market. It is the handwork of the local government chairman. In school, I am a proprietor of a school, and that's why I am the president of Forum of Inclusive Educators and Readers. His policies in education have affected us positively. Do you know that in tax collection there is harmonization in Obiakpo now, courtesy of Doc, the current chairman? So in every facet of life, in terms of development in the rural areas, his policies have touched people life across the LGA. However, I may not be speaking for other local government. Remember, when I started, I told you I'm residing in Obiakpo, and most of the things, the analysis I will bring out will be based on where the local government I'm residing. I may not have told the 23 local government in Rivers State, but for the one I've seen currently, things are moving the way it's supposed to be. And Rome, they say, was not built in a day. It is a gradual process. With this pace, I believe all nook and crannies in Obiakpo local government will soon feel the dividend of democracy.
Honorable Wampo, let's come back now. Let's look at our communities, the role of the traditional rulers. They, by the provisions of the Constitution, ought to work in synergy with the local government councils in towards maintaining law and order and peace and development. We've seen a somewhat resurgence of frictions in parts of communities in Rivers State, frictions among youth groups, frictions that have also cost lives. What do you think the local government councils need to do to engender unity, peace, and development in that regard?
Okay, thank you very much. I think before I dive into the question directly, I want to add light to something we've been saying. We talked about local government, their performance, and what generally they are doing. And the first person came here, he spoke holistically more on Obiakpo, and the second person is saying he's still residing in Obiakpo, so they speak more of Obiakpo without other LGAs. Doesn't really mean, probably because of they are not really, they don't go around, and for one reason or the other, that's best known to them. But now, let me tell you something. Do you know that there are some council chairmen that are media friendly, others are not media friendly. Then there are some council chairmen that they also have a team of media personnel. They have very good team of media personnel. There are others that do not really have. They do more, but people don't see what they are doing. You understand? So when you talk about also the money, like we have mentioned, about 16 billion that goes to them, you talk about media, you talk about their documentaries, you talk about their documentation, you talk about what they do online. They pay these people, they spend money, only bringing live coverage, you know the cost of live coverage for just 2 stations or 3 stations. So you begin to ask, how many local government chairman does that? They sparingly do those things because of the cost implication. Not that they are not performing. If not for the sake of that, we have social media handles like the Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth. Probably most of us won't even know what the local government chairmen are doing. And as an individual, or as a people, if you're not really media friendly, you might not really see and acknowledge the beauty and the what these local government chairmen are doing. I don't want to go into other local government. Other than that, I know a lot of them that are, I don't want to start calling their names. If I start calling their names, it's like I'm maybe praising them and leaving others. But I want to tell you for sure that when it comes to Rivers State and the performance of the local government chairmen, I've said it before, about 90% of them are doing accurately well, whether publicly displaying or not publicly displaying. Other than that, you see the people will be shouting, will be crying, will be talking on social media. You know, when most times you see some persons, they will be angry, they say, this local government chairman, what is he really doing? One radical person will just write, oh, this is local government chairman, he's from my area, he's not doing anything, he should tell the people what is he doing. And you see people start commenting, oh no, why are you sounding like this? He has done this, he has done this, he has done this, he has done this.
Can you beat your chest confidently and say in various communities across the 23 local government councils in Rivers State, there are infrastructural development programs?
Oh, frankly speaking, the local government chairman, I will tell you that for free.
Indeed, something is happening.
I say for free. See, if you say it is not sufficient based on the allocation that they are receiving and based on the expectation of the masses, it is understandable. But if you say infrastructural development across the 23 local government of Rivers State, brother, go home, take it, go to bank, you will cash the money for free of charge. Now, let me look at the other issue you raised. You talked about the role of the traditional rulers in liaising and the synergizing with the local government chairman and the ensuring that there is peace. Honestly speaking, we have that synergy, and the traditional rulers, honestly speaking, they are doing their best, and you can see it, even if when you cannot have absolute peace across the 23 local government area, from time to time there is room for skeletal issues. You know that most times when people look at Rivers State, you can't compare the level of crime in Rivers State with that of a particular local government in other states. I don't want to mention states now, because if I use a case study of Lagos State, there are some local government in Lagos, you won't compare the level of crime in the whole of Rivers State to a particular local government in a particular state. But still, it is not reported. So I want to tell you that if there is collaboration, is there collaboration? Yes, there is collaboration. Is the traditional rulers doing well? Yes, they are doing well. See, when a traditional ruler, a recognized traditional ruler is not doing well, even the local government chairman will call him to order because he has a statutory payment. So because of they are charged with the responsibility of peace and order, there are some communities ordinarily police cannot enter to arrest anybody. But I want to tell you, let anybody call in and tell us that there is a community in Rivers State that police cannot go and arrest somebody. Then I will tell you that the traditional ruler has failed. You can hardly see. In fact, there is none. Quote me, there is none. Police cannot go in and arrest people. But in other times, you see there are a lot of places that police won't even dare go there. Because there is this peace, and there is this relationship between even the police, the council chairman, and the leaders of thought and the chiefs. So there is a good collaboration, but there is room for issues one time, once in a while, for one reason or the other. It happens in other climes. It happens even in developed countries.
Mr. Innocent, let's come back to you now. We are looking at moving forward. What would you want to see differently in our local government councils that are not still there in terms of impacting on the fortunes of those at the grassroots? Let's look beyond Obiakpo and Faga, because within Obiakpo and Faga, the state government, which is the city center, the state government is also investing. in our communities, what would we want to see differently, especially coming from the local government councils in terms of meeting those expectations?
Thank you, sir. The truth is this. I was in Degema local government recently, and I visited a site. I may not really pronounce the name of that particular village, but that site, I visited that river. It was a very good experience that I had that day. Right inside me, I was imagining if this place can be turned to become a tourist center. People all over the nation will troop in there to see the fascinating nature of that particular place. Having said that, like I have initially said, that Rome was not built in a day. I will urge the local government chairman to look beyond the allocation and think of how to generate funds to run, because whatever we are talking or whatever we are saying boils down to capital.
You think they don't have enough capital? Like I asked Honorable Nwankwo here, data from the FAC, Federation Account Allocation Committee, between March and August last year showed that, I'm talking about Rivers State.
Yes.
On the average, the 23 local government councils received between 16 billion and 19 billion naira.
Okay, let me ask you, sir, do you think that that money is enough to run the local government? Comparing the terrain like that of Degema, their terrain alone, just to grade a road there, you know what it costs. Just to grade a road in Degema local government, you know what it will cost. Now, do you think that money is enough to pay the staff, run their policies and whatever they have put on ground? I don't think. And we all know that the Supreme Court has given judgment concerning the local government autonomy, and the implementation is not fully done. There are bottlenecks here and there, certain deductions that are going on. I'm not here speaking to defend any local government chairman or to say they are not getting enough or they are getting enough. But, you know, if you ask someone to finish a particular eba food, you must give him enough soup that will be enough for him to finish that particular eba. What am I saying? Local government need a lot in terms of funding. Again, elimination of corruption. How much of this money is being implemented into the policy? If all these things are taken care of, you cannot talk or think of a way of moving forward.
Are you saying that in Rivers State, all the funds going to the local government councils are not getting directly implemented to where? Are you foreseeing political interference in that regard?
That is not what I'm saying, sir. It is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that local government need more funding than what they are receiving presently. Comparing, because they are the grassroots government, those people are the ones that are in charge of the communities and villages. Outside the traditional rulers, they are the ones that are closer to the grassroots. They are the ones, when we talk of health care, primary health care, primary school management board, and so on and so forth, they are the one in charge. The market, where the common people are seen daily, they are the one in charge.
Do you have it better now? What we have in Rivers State, is it better now, given the current leadership we have in the state in terms of local government system?
I can say yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, let's get your closing thoughts, just
Okay, frankly speaking, like we had said, the local government chairmen are closer to the grassroots than any other governing arm. I can tell you for sure that as I speak with you, my local government chairman, he didn't even know. He called me this morning. We spoke this morning. My local government chairman called me this morning. His number is still here. We just spoke. You know, he asked me one or two things, and I just told him. And that's about that. Now, you won't compare that with a state governor or somebody in the National Assembly or Senate coming closer. That's the same thing he's doing, applying, calling other persons to ensure certain things are put in place. That's on the other side. But if there is any way we must have things done and done very well and have it, efficiently, we should be looking at leakages as well. Issue of revenue. One of the core mandate of the local government chairman is to generate revenue, and it's not that they don't actually generate revenue. They do, but unfortunately, the same thing is applicable to the state, even at the federal level. There are a lot of issues, diversion of revenues that are being generated, and I can tell you for free that at the local government level is higher. So if it could be curtailed, reduced to the barest minimum, and all the revenues are being paid into the local government account, I think they can do more, and they will do far better than what we are seeing.
All right, sincere gratitude to Honorable Nwankwo, Mr. Onyeka Innocent, and Barrister Canada left earlier on for your contributions on local government councils and grassroots development here in Rivers State. This is how far we'll go on this edition of Highlights. Thank you for staying tuned in the course of this program. Do have a wonderful day ahead of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We should fall back to what we have and maximally utilize it. What it is intended to. The problem is that has always been docile and are always afraid.
Between Nigeria and Cameroon, with only 300